Hello world, it's Birdo Pray 5, Qapla. Let's try this again. And I don't know, I hope we're not buffering as much or at all. Although if we are, are we buffering? Greetings from the buffer. Hello again. Okay. 47 Yorktown was first. Space giving her says Fluffer Boy 2004 was not here. I don't know what that means. John DeMarco says greetings every buffer. So the buffer joke started before I did. Professor Brainy Speck says Q buffer pla buffer Birdo Prey. Greetings from the futures is Random Menace. Greetings Random Menace. Flugger says YouTube's been crappy all day. Professor Brainy Speck says the Random Menace. Greetings to the future. Yitza. Flugger says greetings from the buffer. 47 Yorktown says hello again, young sir. Hello again, 47 Yorktown. John DeMarco says not buffering, but you look like pixelated Riker. I'll go force YouTube to 1080p. You son of a bitch. Wow, it won't even after I force it to 1080p. It won't. Huh. Weird. Not buffering. Mike Richards says hot diggity doodah damn. Orville Nation says no buffering. Professor Brainy Specs says Bird of Prey, so far no buffer, but video quality is low. Low specs Linux laptop said not buffering but pixelated. Average says coming to you live via potato. It's Bird of Prey 5, I'll take it. And not Ryan Johnson says pixelated Prey 5. And Space Kissinger says Bird has Cardassian internet. God damn it, Miles. Can't get the internet up. Okay, so here's what we'll do. Well, you know what? If I'm not so big, then it won't be so pixelated. And one way to keep me smaller is to bring other people in. So even though this is a bed life, and even though I will be talking, if people want to come in and insert themselves into the conversation, I will have them join the panel. You'll be free to join the panel, and there's the link. Professor Brainy Spass says Space Kissinger, no, Karogan internet is the worst available. So bad, Birdo Press uses AOL email. You are confusing two situations. And Space Kissing says, has you met Miles's wife? Not the only thing he can't get up. Oh, wow. That is not nice. Cinnabon Bunny says hello again. Hello again, Cinnabon Bunny. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry about that. Number 240p. Oh, Jesus. At least I was in 360. 240. Son of a bitch. I'm sorry. I don't know what the deal is. Orville Nation, though. Orville Nation with his $5 super chat says, we want to know what Bird wants his future to be like. And a smiley face. Tell us about future Bird. Well, I'll be honest. It wasn't what I was prepared for, but we can make it work. We can make it work. So here's the problem and the reality, and I don't know how this might come out sounding like I'm an asshole, and if it does, it does. Um, I don't think I can live with being wheelchair bound. I don't think I can. I don't think I could live with thinking that that's the best that's going to happen. And I need to deal with it, and I need to learn to live with that. And that even having just my hands moving puts me so far ahead of millions of people who are even more disabled than I am. And I met people, and some of these people live surprisingly full lives. I mean, we need think no further than Stephen Hawking, who, I mean, the man was one of the most famous people on this planet, and he could barely move, but he wasn't famous for being disabled. He was famous because of everything he did despite his disability. He was famous for being smart. I mean, would he still be famous even if he wasn't disabled? Yeah, he would. Not a lot of people can say that. Would he have been as famous? Probably not. But he'd still, there's still a couple of scientists out there that, names we know, or at least some of us know. And would still probably have been one of them had he just written, The Brief History of Time, and got up and walked out of the wheelchair in his 20s instead of got progressively worse. I'm not a good disabled person. I'm a terrible disabled person. And I mean, there's disabled people that just are a lot better at this than me. And I'm never going to be one of them. And so hello, Flugger.
Hi.
And hello, Jam. Oh, pray 5.5. Aberjam.
Oh, Aberjammer.
Hello, Jam. Aberjam, are you there? Because I'm just getting feedback.
Is he showing
Aber? Aber, since I can't hear you, I'm going to remove you. I'll bring you back in a couple minutes if you're still there.
Yeah, Bird, your issues today aren't with you. Your issues is YouTube. They've been screwed up
They've
all
had
day
a bad
long.
day.
Yeah,
Thank
YouTube
you.
has been really bad.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it still sucks, but at least I won't. I'm still going to see if there's anything I can find, but I won't spend all night going through everything.
Don't sweat it. They've been all messed up all day.
Okay. Well, to get back to my future story. No, don't be sorry. I appreciate it. Like I said, I trying not to sound like an asshole, but I feel like this was not supposed to be my life, and maybe everybody feels that way to a point, and maybe maybe I am an asshole. I don't know. But it's like it's not going to be enough for me to people have told me like, oh, you could be walking and really, and then I see what they mean by walking, and it's holding whatchamacallit. It's a suit But even besides the suit, you've got to hold onto canes or crutches, right? Like you need crutches to walk. And no, I'm not going to walk with crutches. I'm not. No, fuck that. I'm sorry. That's not walking. That is not walking. Okay, I could maybe get used to a suit of some type that would help me walk. But if you're saying no, I got to have my hands on crutches, and no, then don't tell me I'm walking, because that's not walking. I walked. I used to walk. I know what walking is. I'm sorry. And fucking needing my hands to be on crutches to go one step and one arm over arm to go step by step. Fuck you. I'd rather just sit back in a chair. Well, it's for your own health. Well, this is where we have a problem. This is where we have a mental fight, because I need it's not enough for me to get better. I have to do it on my own terms. And welcome Yvette now. And Yvette disappeared. I hope I didn't double click on Yvette.
Looks like Aber wants to get back on.
Oh, Aberdam, you back?
And the hi, Catman, Dee.
I'm here. I'm through.
Yeah, I'm hearing you mostly.
Yeah, that is that.
Yeah. What was that?
That's a start.
Could you hear him, Fluger?
No, he's roboting really bad.
Roboting. Yeah, I'm sorry, Aber.
Oh.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, and the Fed doc is here. Hi,
Hello,
Yvette.
Yvette.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Close. Thought I'd come and cheer you up a bit.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, thank you. You don't have to cheer me. I'm just a little upset with the YouTube issues, but
Well,
as
I haven't been
for
on for a while, so I thought I'd bob on.
oh, thank you. And Professor, welcome.
Qapla bird.
Hey,
Qapla, Professor. Let's see. I see people were talking. LDG says, "Hey, Bird, heard you're having issues. Just came on to check. Your buffering analytics are all in the red orange. If you want some help later, hit me up." Okay, I'll hit you up. If it's something, though, people are telling me it's a YouTube issue. Orville Nation says, "You could never sound like an asshole." Oh, believe me, I could.
Bird.
Yes, Professor.
The history with R&R stream a couple hours ago was fine.
Yeah, and Cinnabons was fine too.
It was
at
better,
least as
but
far
it
as I
still
could
had
tell.
some buffering.
Yvette's video looks really good, where yours is still kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, I'm on full HD 1020.
Hey, PJ and Space
Oh, hi,
kissing her.
Hey.
Hey guys, hey Bird.
Hey, PJ.
Hey. PJ's video looks pretty good too.
I keep waving to everyone in the chat.
Welcome, Space Kissinger.
Yes,
Hey,
hello.
Jeff. Hey Flugger.
Hey.
Hey Yvette and Kissinger.
Let me do this. Let me stop my camera and restart OBS. because OBS
think-
was still showing a red connection.
I think it's your internet connection or possibly your computer.
Well, YouTube was funny on my phone also, so I can't say that it isn't partly them today. And it's probably the major snowstorm on the West Coast affecting their data centers.
That's
That looks
possible, I suppose.
How you doing, PJ? I haven't spoken to you in a while.
Yeah, it's good to see you. I don't stream much anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to cut back because of my health, so I haven't
Oh.
been on many either.
I'm just
Hope you're
going to
okay.
maximize myself for a second. See,
You
is
are
it
a little
any?
blurry. You're a little
Yeah,
I
blurry.
am
it's
blurry.
blurry.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
I like to see my daddy in full glory. I don't like you blurry.
Well,
That's not your daddy. That's Riker.
No, that's my dad. No, that's
yeah.
PJ.
Look at how clear PJ is, and I'll give Yvette some. Oh yeah, the prettiest of us all. There we go.
No question
I'm sorry,
about that.
Professor. Yeah,
Thank you.
Space Kissinger and Flugger. PJ,
The,
I
the
think we all agree.
slow internet problem is clearly because you offended someone in New Jersey.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I still think it's Life with Matthew's fault.
Well, yeah, Matthew does. We do like to blame Matthew for everything, don't we? Yeah. Or Salty Trekker. It really depends on the mood you're in. Matthew, if it's not too bad. Salty Trekker, if it is bad. Also, everyone tells me, I know who Matthew is because I've seen his streets, but I haven't. I think I've been on Salty Trekker's chat once. But I came
You're
on
not
your
missing
show,
much.
Professor. I came on your show, but I didn't know how it worked. And once I'd worked out how it worked, you ended it.
Oh,
Next-
sorry.
So next time it's on, I'm going to come on, and then I can play by asking. I ask questions, and then you ask people up to ask the questions. Is that how it works? I think. Is that it?
Well, no, we usually
No?
have a set number of questions that are asked.
Ah.
We do have a round 6 occasionally where people can come on and ask questions. We did do that yesterday.
That's
And
probably what I was thinking was happening. So I got it wrong anyway. Sorry.
no, it's okay.
I have to get the hang of games, you know. Mind you, Jet Nerdy was hilarious yesterday.
Now
What-
you know
what-
that. Go ahead, Bird.
I was going to say
Yeah,
you
that's
should
better.
probably finish.
No, blow yourself up. Not literally.
Yeah.
Yay! There's Daddy. That's better.
That is better.
Yeah, that's better.
Well,
Yeah.
it
now
gets
it's
fuzzy again,
falling
but
again.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
stop fiddling with the knobs. You look good.
Welcome, Captain.
Hello,
Thank you.
Captain Trek.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Captain.
hello, Captain Trek.
Hello.
So I got a little funny story that I thought might cheer you up, Daddy.
Okay.
I got myself a brand new bra
How did I know this was going to be about a bra?
because you know me that well. However, I put it on tonight, right? No, you're going to have to make me big so I can demonstrate this, I'm afraid.
Please
right,
demonstrate.
So it's that it's like a coffee table. It's literally like a coffee table now. Look, I could put dinner on there now.
Wow.
Well, it's convenient if you're having a TV dinner while you're watching TV.
thankful I haven't got a nerdgasm top on. Jesus Christ.
You can have
Wow.
tea and biscuits and have a place to put them.
Absolutely, yeah.
I guess as long as the food isn't real hot.
Well, why do you think I said tea and biscuits and not, something like that?
It's true.
I guess you could keep it warm. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. To this day, I never forget the day I was on Captain Trek's on a Wednesday. On a Wednesday, I used to be on camera, and I had my Jurassic Park t-shirt on, and I bent over to get something. He thought I couldn't hear him, and he went, "Is anyone else disappointed she hasn't got a low-cut top on?" And I went, "I can still hear you." When I got son of a bitch out of it. Yeah.
Are you sure that wasn't
Listen, just being honest.
Don't you remember that? Oh no, V-neck. He said a V-neck, wasn't it?
I said that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah,
it was me.
Yes, it
I
was.
was gonna say that's more perverted than I'm usually. That's
Well,
more
but it
like
was
porn.
your stream, Captain.
Yeah, it was your stream. It was Wednesday. I was on camera. And I bent over, I think, to get the ball cube or something. And he went, "Is anyone else disappointed she's not wearing a V-neck?" And I went, "I can hear you."
Those were like my best days at the office. Was when one of the women would be wearing a V-neck and bend over. Like my best days at the office. Was when.
Hey, Alex.
Evening. Glad to
Welcome,
finally
Alex.
on Bird's stream. Hey, Professor.
I try not to come on too often because I am very disruptive.
Hello, Alex.
Hello, Bird. Thanks for having a real conservative Trek channel. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I don't know if I'd call it real conservative. It is what it is.
I mean, Salty doesn't allow us to talk about certain topics. It's a little frustrating sometimes.
I know. We have different roles. I don't mind people talking about it. It don't always have to be about it. And there will be things when we will on times disagree. I'm sure it'll happen. But just so you know, I will not hold it against you. I hope you don't hold it against me.
Appreciate it. Do your mods put people in timeout though, like he does, or?
Generally, Generally, people should not be being put in timeout. If a mod, the only real reason I have mods is to keep spammers out. There's no reason mods should be moderating comments. I hope everybody here is adult enough to keep comments respectable.
You're not worried about getting demonetized, Bird?
Sassy is we got a delivery. I'm sorry. We got a delivery.
No problem.
I'll shut the camera off. Yeah. Camera's off. Alex. If people are talking, they're welcome to talk in the chat. You're welcome to debate in the chat. You're welcome to debate on panel. That's all fine and good. I want people to be respectful to each other, and really that's it. If you're respectful to each other, that's all you've got to be.
Yeah, that sounds like YouTube of old, back when it was great.
Well, if YouTube isn't going to allow it, then that's out of my hands. But if it's something YouTube will allow, then I'm fine with it.
We'll see, because it seems like Rumble is taking off quite a bit, so they might pull back on some of the stuff they do.
Oh, I've got something to make everyone laugh. You can see the screen. Oh, good. You know my narcissistic bitch of a sister? She actually got something right. She sent me a Christmas card that made me laugh my ass off. And I don't know if you can see what they are.
Sending you positive vibes this Christmas.
Funny.
Does the card vibrate?
The purple one looks interesting.
Were batteries included?
No.
There's 2 purple ones.
Yeah.
That's almost as good as the 60th Christmas CD.
Oh, there you go. I bought a couple of things to cheer you guys up. I won't keep you any longer. You've got a nice busy group here. And PJ, drop in the backstage sometime.
I will.
All right. And everyone, Daddy, behave yourself, please. And everyone, much love.
I try.
Much love in the chat. Bye.
Thanks for dropping in.
Later.
Bye, Yvette.
Have a good one.
But
So,
PJ, as for my future, obviously I hope to get to the point where I can at least walk with a cane. If I could get to a point where I could walk with a cane, I think I'd be happy enough.
You know, Bird, I didn't know that you were going to go in that direction with your future, but I just wanted to jump. Actually, I wanted to jump on because as somebody who works with people in healthcare and people in recovery of stuff, and I actually think what you said, you might sound like an asshole, but actually your frame of mind is actually the correct one for getting to that goal. Like not fully accepting things is actually very healthy for making, what you want a reality. So
Oh, that's good. At least that's good to hear somebody say something like that.
And let me just I never told anybody this in our community, but I've been a medical researcher for many years, and I've heard you talk about your situation, and it's not my place to say this, but I would think that someday down the road, there's probably a bright light at the end of the tunnel.
I appreciate that. I mean, as an electrical engineer and looking at what was available 10 years ago and what's available now, I can see they've done a lot of research into this area. And I would suspect if I can hold on another 10 or 20 years, that there will be a technological solution if there's not a medical solution. Or
a mix
that would get me most of the way there. Because I mean, what we have now, I mean, what's out there now, if one had the money and the time and the ability, one could probably get, like I said, walking with crutches, with just stuff that's on the market or being researched, So I think 10 years from now, if I keep myself in decent enough physical shape, there very well might be something that'll get me where I want to be.
Or sooner.
Assuming that I don't, even if I don't get physically better in that time. And there's still the chance, I don't go to sleep ever thinking this is the best I might ever be. I mean, I'm afraid, I worry it, but I also am open to possibility that, that extra millimeter of nerve grows that night, and I can start to make connections that I couldn't make before. And it's not going to be quick, but it'll be something. And I remember back to, the first 5 years when I was getting new movements and being able to do things I couldn't do the day before. And for the first 5 years, it wasn't every day, it wasn't every week, but once every few months, something new popped up. Like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can turn myself over. I could, I was at one point, I could turn myself over, put my legs over the edge of the bed
I want to see quotes
and hold on.
who you think said these things. So first off, he knew.
Aravic Sonder with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, Aravic Sonder. Greatly appreciated.
PJ, I have a question for you. I'm sorry, Bird. Do you think that with Bird getting back to PT would also speed up the process when he's able to?
There is a very true aspect to in recovery of all sorts of like if like in the field of dreams, if you build it, they will come. And if you start, the more you work it, the more likely things are to return to normal.
And yes, Captain, I am going to contact a physical therapist and try to get back into it. If not for the end of this week, then for next week.
That's great, Bird.
Although it is coming up on the
happy to hear
holidays. Thank you. This is the guy that is the physical therapist at the nursing home I had stayed at, rather than the random people they would send me, just because I'm not there yet.
If you need motivation, Bird, for doing PT, there are physical therapists who wear bikinis. I heard.
Is that a joke?
That's a joke.
No. Damn it! I was like, is that real? I think the producer, Saul Leibowitz, says, how much longer will you be doing open lines? Honestly, I probably wasn't planning on this, but let's say, we'll say for sure till 6:30, possibly till 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 50 minutes from now. I didn't eat dinner yet, so I would hesitate to promise any longer than that.
Well, you can turn the camera off, and we can just keep talking. You can listen in.
I mean, honestly, I don't mind doing that. If you guys want to hang out, I could just eat, and you guys could talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, well, one time Salty's power went out, and we just kept talking for hours. So.
Yeah.
That was his best stream.
Probably.
Well, what about the stream he forgot to end?
Okay, maybe the second best stream.
Bike riding stuff. Speaking of Matthew, who won the bet that he'd get through 5 movies?
Maybe he's speaking Spanish.
I bet.
Did he?
So I lost.
Did he ever make it through the
there
movies?
was a bet.
No, he made it through Star Trek 5. We're still waiting on Trek 6 because his wife.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's an excuse, but still, it's a bet. So I'm curious if anyone won.
I'm sure he'll be back. I mean, he has done the movies with Salty for a long time now.
Yeah.
Even before the Star Trek films.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. I believe.
And real world stuff has come up that has prevented it. Otherwise, it would have already been on now.
Well, maybe it's for the best because I was kind of sad that it was going to end. So, something to look forward to. Maybe I'll have time to rewatch Trek 6 before they do
well, they plan to watch 6 and then do some other things and come back to the next gen films next year.
Yeah, I kind of missed it. So did Matthew still think Trek 5 was the best? Was his ratings or not? Or was it tied with Trek 2? I think he gave it like a 9.
I think he walked it back a little, if I recall. He still really
thinks
likes
5
it.
is better than 4.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Well, I mean, if you just want to have drama and you don't want comedy, then I can see that, but that's not objective to say that drama is better than comedy.
That's not even possible because they're the same thing.
Well, it's kind of hard to say because nowadays I prefer to watch comedy because just to get away from all my real world worries. So I actually value Star Trek 4 even more than I did. But as a kid, I liked Trek 5 more. So I can kind of see where Matthew's coming from.
I think the fan of 5 is really good.
I'm just going to mute Alex for a quick second. Yeah, Alex, we're getting I don't know if it's a feedback or like an electric noise, a buzz. Do you hear it at all?
Yeah, it's my speakers because they're external and I plugged them in with the USB cord. My original speakers have broken down. Let's see if I turn them down a little bit. If that helps. Does that help?
Yes.
Yes, that did. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad to help. This is what the sound producers in Hollywood do all the time. They look for unexpected noise.
By the way, Jeff, you and Rambling have really been taking R&R in a really good direction. Congratulations.
Oh, appreciate that. And we got some big news that we can't quite report yet, but something big's coming to the channel almost assuredly for next year. Wow. And we're excited.
Cool.
Channel called again? I haven't seen your channel yet.
History with R&R.
Okay, so you don't just do sci-fi, you just do real history?
No, this is a history channel.
So like
we're
about
different points in history.
Okay, so
yeah, it's not sci-fi.
Ancient Rome, ancient Greece, medieval stuff.
We've done very little of that.
Okay.
We've mostly done in the last century, although we have gone back further than that, somewhat.
Did you do something special for Pearl Harbor Day?
Yeah, we did have a Pearl Harbor live stream the day before with Potato Ribbon, and we also had an upload this past Friday for Pearl Harbor.
And John DeMarco put a link in the chat to that channel.
Pretty cool.
Thank you, John.
Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, "Do you talk about history like Ancient Aliens?"
No, this is real history.
I understand the History Channel talks about Ancient Aliens all the time.
Yeah, and that's
well. How would you explain the Roswell incident, Professor? I've heard so many different theories.
We don't have enough information.
Yeah, I suppose that's the objective way to
cover up incident. Was that, Alex?
Sorry, still making noise?
The what? No, the what incident did you say?
Well, the one when Quark and Nog went back in time in Deep Space Nine.
Roswell.
That was actually a pretty good history of cover-ups. If you buy the somewhat identified reality that we didn't want the Soviets to know that we could detect their nuclear bomb tests with microphones in the upper atmosphere, and so we made up the UFO story about it.
Well, I think there's an even more interesting story from 1897. This was in Aurora, Texas, where
the farm one.
They claim that they actually found an alien and that was buried somewhere in the
Gave
community.
him a good Christian burial. That was
As he deserved.
That was a wonderful story. And then the people who bought the house or whatever, the guy who bought the house got terrible what's that stuff? His joints, arthritis, terrible arthritis. And his joints, they were like 4 or 5 times the normal size.
That's the other thing about aliens. In the 90s, there were so many of these home videos with flying saucers. As soon as YouTube became big, they just kind of went away. There's not a ton of them.
Well, they're out there, but they're still kind of crappy.
They're just not promoted, I guess, like TV was.
Yeah, well, YouTube doesn't promote. YouTube used to. Like 10 years ago, YouTube would promote UFOs all the time. But then, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years ago when YouTube, the first adpocalypse came around, they immediately got rid of promoting anything with UFO in it. Alien, UFO, all those videos were gone. You can't find them. You got to search for hours to come across them by accident.
Part of the cover-up, obviously.
So,
Bird, I got to run, but thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chats.
Sure.
Thank you.
I hope the Orville comes back, DJ.
It's coming back March 10th.
All right, I'll have to catch up, I guess.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Bird. Bye.
Thank you. March 10th. There it is.
All right. So many things to watch, so little time. I finally got around to watching Doom in the theaters. I still haven't watched any of Foundation or Discovery Season 4 or what's it called? Prodigy. I haven't seen that.
By the way, Bert, I really have to thank you for going through the mental trauma of watching Discovery for us.
You're welcome. Tonight.
The last video is the first one that I've watched at 2x speed, and it wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This last one that I just did is clearly the most boring because there was no giant rants. I did rant a little bit about
Or I might be too far behind because I'm thinking of the one where you were asleep.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's way behind. That was like the first or second episode. That was like the second episode.
Were you on the church live stream, Bird, on Sunday or?
I got there like 20 minutes late, but I was listening in. I wasn't like reading the chat.
Because I remember, Salty kept saying that you can no longer claim that Discovery is an abysmal failure because you'll look stupid. But
I answered him on that. In fact, I said I beg to differ. I said, well, how could you say it was a success when Netflix tossed it away?
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and he kept saying, well, Netflix didn't know what they were doing. Right. A $1 billion company that he himself admits could buy Disney if they wanted, which I don't think they could. But a company that he admits is bigger than Disney would not know what it was doing when it was making it.
Him and Laura Reloaded that Discovery might be a loss leader for CBS. This is like their virtue signaling show that they're willing to take a loss on just to say that they're in on the message and they're being progressive and they'll just keep sinking money into that sinkhole just to be popular and to virtue signal. I know we don't have the numbers, but it's not disproven my hypothesis.
Here's another thing with Discovery, and I got to give credit to Major Grin. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's on YouTube. He does parody edits and stuff usually, and joke edits of Discovery. but he realized that Adira is been completely rewritten. And I forgot this. But remember when we first met Adira, she was super confident. And granted, we called her she, but she was super confident. In fact, I actually kind of liked her in a way more than Wesley because she knew what the fuck she wanted at least. Like she took over Discovery under Stamets's eyes. She did all this stuff. She's like, you people are like from a museum. Until he's like, oh, dude, there's cool stuff in a museum too. But Adira was shooting back instantly. Anything they could throw at her, she threw back at them. And then when she got her trill powers, I mean, that was without being able to speak to her trill. Then by the end of that season, she could speak to all her past trill hosts. So she was even more content. And now, all of a sudden, this season, she's being written like she's they are being written like they're afraid of everything, and they can't make friends, and they're afraid to go out. They're afraid to go on missions. That was never Adira. Adira was like boom, 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 and
well, that's the audience of the show. It's people who are like that in their real lives, who are agoraphobic or think they are, and don't go out and do things and don't know anyone, and that's who their audience is.
How would you have joined Starfleet in the first place? It kind of makes no sense. If she
she never did. Hello, the Random Menace.
And
this
greetings from the future.
Yeah, it's no longer a Star Trek show. It's just random sci-fi kind of adventure for blue-haired weirdos.
Well, I mean,
so just to be clear, Adira,
Next Gen was not accepted until Best of Both Worlds, but it's season 4 now, not season 3. So I think it's a little late for Discovery.
Yeah, I mean, Enterprise had those same problems.
Yeah. I rejected Enterprise.
The show is not being written as a Star Trek show.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Trek gets redefined. A space station used to not be appropriate because it's not a star trip; it's a stationary place. But
and that's kind of why they wrote themselves into a corner and had to bring the Defiant on.
And Thomas, yes.
I will agree with you there. Sorry, Thomas. Go ahead.
Thomas, yes, I did see the cringe Major Grin video with Gray. If anybody ever gets a chance,
funny videos.
It says, I think Gray accidentally, or Adira accidentally insults her boyfriend or something. And I watched that video and I shook my head. I'm like, wow. Does
By the
she
way, guys,
or he or it, I'm sorry, have any idea how they come across? I'm guessing not. Yes, Random Menace.
I just found out when you click the 3 dots or when you are on your mobile phone, YouTube put back the function go to the channel.
Really?
Really?
Try it out.
Hold on.
Interesting. I'm on my laptop, so I'm not going to do it.
Holy shit! It's back!
Yeah.
Victory!
Yes!
Well, on mobile.
Victory!
It
No,
isn't
it's on
victory!
web. I'm on laptop.
This is the flavor. This is what victory tastes like, people.
Because it shows go to channel, report, and block. That's it. Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
Well, you got it, but I don't. I even refreshed the screen.
Are you on phone or on computer?
I'm on computer.
I'm on
so
computer.
On computer it's the 3. Are you a mod here?
Yes.
On the channel. You're a mod. Interesting, because I have the functionality, not a problem. Thomas, could you? Okay, Thomas has all I see is report or block.
Yeah, that's all I have. Even on my phone,
yeah.
I have an
Google
Android
is
phone.
very block happy.
Well, it should be coming then, because I have it.
So it looks like a rollout or something. Maybe that's why there were some issues with YouTube because they were doing some changes. Possible.
Possibly.
Yeah. It's the one thing. Hello, Kitty. One of my cats came. By the way, we are short one cat. We have one cat missing for 4 days now. Yeah.
Oh no.
But it's like, you know.
So you know what that means. Hashtag more cats for Joseph.
More cats for Joseph.
Welcome, executive producer Saul Leibowitz.
Hey,
Welcome,
Saul.
sir. Thank you so much for having me. How are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling pretty damn good right now.
Okay, you said,
great.
I just got to address something really quick. Why do you want to walk with a cane when an exoskeleton would be so cool?
I'm a class. I like classic. I like old things. Okay.
You know, in a
Like
cane,
a
you can hide a knife.
In a cane, I can hide a knife, a sword, a geologia stick, anything.
Okay. I 3 words then. 3 words. Karogan Pimp Cane.
Exactly.
Well, keep in mind, you can also use it as a firearm. So
I mean, the Grand Negus has what's he call it? Whatever he calls his stick.
Scepter.
Yeah.
Scepter. Yeah.
Now, well, a scepter, if you look at my thumbnail, that's one of my adorable godchildren. She has a scepter. That's a scepter. It's not a cane.
Oh, whatever. Close
you still
enough.
can hit people with it, as she's
Exactly.
but it won't help you
Exactly.
walk. But yeah,
Well,
you can have both, Bird. You can have both.
Hello, Gap Stargate. You are an inspiration. I appreciate that. I never signed up to be an inspiration. I'd prefer if I was just an average person.
Yeah, it's my cat literally jumped on in my lap and it's now purring here, and I'm not going to remove the cat.
No.
Thomas is all he sees is reporter block 2. My guess is everyone will see it in time.
Mm-hmm.
It took a couple of weeks for dislikes to go away, and some people can still see them apparently.
Particularly if you have a
plug-in.
Well, if you have the plug-in, yeah. But yeah, it's just going to take time. I'm sure if it's back, it'll be back for everybody soon enough.
He's just falling asleep in my lap. That's funny.
Aw, kitty.
Anyway, the one that is missing, it's the youngest one, and honestly, I feel like in that joke that mixed feelings when your mother-in-law is falling down the cliff in your new BMW, you know. It's like mixed feelings because we didn't find the body, but we didn't find the cat either. So, and I know the gardens of all my neighbors in the meantime. So, yeah.
Sorry.
Not a funny situation. Anyway, sorry for bringing that up.
No, I still thank you for bringing the great news of YouTube giving in.
Yeah.
So now I can take that Twitter post down.
The Twitter post, I wanted to tell you, you can unpin the Twitter post that you have there.
That's what I was trying to do. I forgot how to pin it and unpin it.
You could just pin something else.
Yeah.
YouTube is
Like-
scared of everyone going to
Bird,
Rumble.
I need
No.
to leave.
Oh,
But thank you for having me on the panel. I appreciate it.
thank you for coming,
Take care, Jeff.
Professor.
Have a good one. I'll check out your channel.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Professor.
Alex. Take care, everyone.
Qapla.
Qapla.
Speaking of cats, is that a good idea if they have an irritated tushy to put some Vaseline on it?
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, he's getting aggressive. It's funny, but he tries to bite sometimes.
There are certain things that I'm not going to try with a cat.
Exactly.
Or not try again with a cat. What I find
Oh
completely
my God.
it's nothing what you think about. I don't know what you were thinking about, dirty-minded people. I find it fascinating when I'm watching videos where there are like professional groomers that are like bathing cats, and the cats are like holding quietly, and
Oh yeah,
they
that never
don't
happens.
mind. They don't mind the dryer or clipping their nails or whatever. I find it fascinating because exactly this one cat that is right now purring here in my lap. Few years ago, we had to bathe him because he was like he came home completely dirty, and it was like, okay, you need a bath,
Not yet.
guys. I looked like somebody put me
It
in
is
a shredder.
basically off.
Yeah, and your tongue must have been covered in
It's off
fur
now.
for a long time.
Arabic Sonder with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, Arabic Sonder. Oh wait, that was 26 minutes ago.
Yeah, and
What,
you
what
already
was?
thanked him, so you can thank him again.
I appreciate it, but what were we having? Were we having a new subscriber? I thought something just. Huh.
And I'm not sure if you read the one text that I put there on your first stream, on your buffer stream, when Mamo Prey was telling her story. I wrote there that she's just fine because my mom is exactly her age.
Yes,
And
I
I
did.
think, yeah, okay, because
Well, I
that
don't know.
wasn't.
You might not have heard it, or it
No,
might not
because it
have
was
got out
buffering.
because of the buffering.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
she did. Right, she did read that out. She thanked you.
So definitely not to worry much.
Okay, and here I'm writing off a victory to the YouTube, and I will unpin.
Congratulations.
We have.
Us all.
And I just found out by accident because I was holding my phone, and as I was putting it down while starting up the computer, I just stepped on the screen and I saw that, what did it go to the channel? So I clicked on it, and it immediately brought me to the channel of whoever it was. I don't know. I think it was John.
YouTube donated $1.49 and said that was a mistake. We aren't adding a go to channel option. We are adding report negative comments and videos of President Biden option. We have to protect him from the truth. Well, either way, I still feel like it's a victory for me.
Yeah, won't call him Screwtube for one night.
We'll declare victory either way. It was good.
Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake.
Or making a fool of themselves.
I think they're holding back because the next wave of censorship is going to be during the next elections. It's not effective to do it when everyone's expecting it.
Next presidential or next
I think
Congress?
it's congressional because they see the writing on the wall. They're going to try to delete every conservative like June, July of 2022. My prediction.
It's possible. It's possible.
Well, it'll be for safety because all those conservatives they're trying to take away all of their abilities to talk to children about why they're actually transgender, pangendered, blue-haired avatar creatures.
Exactly. They're going to call all the social stuff settled science.
Because that's how science works. Well, Fauci is the science, so he can tell us that.
Wait, I thought the settled science was called Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
That's settled science fiction. That's what I'm most worried about, though, is that at some point they're going to censor the original series. They're going to cut out all the controversial stuff like Kirk slapping a yeoman on the hiney. And
Amazon and Netflix are already editing movies. So.
And they're editing music too. Have you ever heard "Fairy Tale of New York" by the Pogues?
No.
It's a song about a couple going through a rough spot at Christmas. The woman calls her man a cheap, lousy F word. They have removed that and put in other lyrics into the song.
Yeah, and you can do that when everything's digital and there's no hard copies.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting that they did that because it was the person who wrote the song said that it was never made to denigrate gay people. It was a woman who was really mad at her drunken Irish husband.
And as somebody who was born in prior to the 80s, that word doesn't have anything to do with being gay.
Yeah.
But have you noticed ever since COVID started, no one plays Drowning Pool song, Are You Down with the Sickness anymore?
What was the song?
Are You Down with the Sickness?
Who's that by?
Drowning Pool.
Oh, okay.
Are you down with the sickness? All right. But yeah, I see what you mean. Because there's no paper trail, it's like a lot of the Republican meetings I go to, they say you got to have a paper constitution because eventually it'll get deleted from the internet.
Yeah, it's hateful.
Exactly.
Oh,
Cisgender people.
I got to play a little bit of this. This is from Major Grin. And I got the audio to play. So
I watch Discovery now.
Adira accidentally insults their boyfriend.
It's him, but it's not. It's not him, and I don't really know what to do with that.
Yeah, I just banned them. And to celebrate that transphobic asshole who is just a total dick to me. Bam, 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 bam. I'm a sexy motherfucker. I'm a sexy motherfucker. You're just mad because I'm hot and I exist and I'm trans and I'm successful and you can never be me. You could never.
The fact I could never be you.
Being an old sore loser.
Being an old sore loser.
I'm a sexy motherfucker. I'm a sexy motherfucker.
You're entitled to think that.
This has got to be on Flex's This Week in Culture.
I mean, do they not understand?
Well, I think the reality is that they don't understand.
Human females are so repulsive.
Oh, this is actually a good one.
Religion.
Commander, there are no he's or she's in a species without gender.
Okay. For 2 days, I've been trying to construct sentences without personal pronouns. Now I give up. What should I use? It? To us, that's rude.
We use a pronoun that is neutral.
The term is plural. Oh, I see. I'm sorry.
That I felt like.
Okay.
You know what?
I-
So much, effort actually, and goes into this, and actually knowing where to look for the right. The
Oh,
right clip.
amazing! He does
Yeah, I was
ton.
doing the
It's
research,
wonderful. I didn't realize. I mean, I never thought about what Gray did in their off time, but seeing what they did there, like just knowing that that's their mindset, like even the way he or she or whatever the fuck
Is
it was.
actually to use with this actor, the right pronoun is he.
Okay, well, whatever he did, where he and the way he threw in the word old, like the word old was some kind of insult. It's like,
It
fuck
is.
you, buddy. It is an insult to them. They think
Oh,
of the
yeah.
word old as an insult. And like that's like
Right.
the epitome of like you're the asshole, buddy. Like fuck you. You know, call somebody old because they spent more time on this planet than you? Because they have more wisdom than you? Fuck you. Nobody gives it. Nobody wants to be you. Listen, I don't mind. And we shouldn't look down upon people who are the minorities in terms of sexual preferences and sexual identity. But you are the outcast of the outcast. Fuck you. You're not gonna make me feel bad because I'm like 99% of the population that's a heterosexual that wants the opposite sex for a partner. No, where do you think you are?
Bert,
You think
I
because you
wouldn't go
live
there.
in 2021 and
Well,
your
I
parents
wouldn't
thought,
go there because the. I don't think it has nothing. It has
Well-
nothing to do with the actual sexuality. I think rather it's like those are teenagers, and teenagers are just a-holes. And
I don't know. I think it has something to do with I don't know if it's related, but I think they've got some type of brain condition that
you
makes
find,
them
but
mentally
you
unwell.
in general, you find idiots everywhere. So
Well,
and
considering how they're medicating the youth now, I'm not surprised their brains are affected.
I don't. I mean,
Well,
it could be.
there is some reason to believe that a lot of these things, like this transgender thing, is a socially transmittable mental disorder, and it's a disease that can spread in social groups.
especially if there's money for to have.
Especially when you're getting extra attention and you're an awkward teenager who's looking for a way to stand out.
Yeah,
this is exactly the point. This is exactly the point.
It's hard work, and but that's an easy way.
Hello, Maria. Thank you, PJ.
And I think it's just the eccentric behavior comes from a background of low self-confidence, which is understandable, especially in the trans community. I can completely understand it, but then it's like overcompensating. And actually, this what we saw right now on the video is just a stupid behavior. And just because somebody is empowered by being in front of camera and on a TV show, it gives them the feeling that they are invincible and that they can offend whoever they want. And in today's society, if you would go back and tell that person, tell this actor that he's an a-hole for the way how he's behaving, you would be accused of being
racist or something.
Racist, transphobic, or whatever, which is not necessarily true, because honestly, I have to say I have transgender friends, 2 of them, and they are good people.
Okay, let's change the let me change the focus a little bit. I know you're not a religious person, Joseph.
Yes,
Do
correct.
you want people shoving religion in your face?
No,
Not talking
definitely
about
not.
it, not talking about it, not discussing it, shoving it in your face.
Uh,
These people are doing just that with
f-
their
force,
transgender shit.
forcing whatever onto you is not a good thing in general, and it doesn't matter if it's your belief, your in whatever your religion, your
Ideology.
ideology, your whatever. It's not right. We can talk about it, we can discuss it, but if you are forcing something, you are actually generating the opposite reaction, equal and opposite reaction. Newton's laws. Yeah.
Okay.
In social life, yeah.
I
Sorry.
just have a question here. That person was saying they thought that they were so hot and everybody wanted them. Have anybody ever been to Thailand? Have you ever seen
Yeah.
some of the lady boys there?
I have, yeah. One looked like Lady Gaga. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
job.
yeah. There's a saying if it looks too good to be a woman, it's probably not. And some of those, that's like that's like if you want to see somebody really trans and really looking good, you've got that. I don't. Why is this person saying they're so hot? Have they looked into a mirror, or is it because they think they're on a TV show that
Oh, they're on the 8th
enjoys
best Star Trek show, and they're the
enjoyed by tens of
35th best
people?
character. They're the
Yeah,
35th
put in
best
the effort
character on the 8th best Trek show.
They don't want to put in
So,
the effort that the lady boys in Thailand do.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. The lady boys are stunning, and yeah, you see people put in some major league effort there, and it's like that's kind of take the different view of just like, okay, so you say you're trans, where's the effort? You're getting on a TV show because you're
that's
trans.
hateful. You're not allowed to live their truth for them.
It's just like you can't put any effort into it. In my day, I hate to say this, but in my day, the trans people actually put an effort forward. Now these trans kids today, they just think they can change a pronoun and throw on a dress and it's there. It's just like it's sad to see such a lack of effort out there today.
And then the school board will cover up a couple of rapes for them. I mean, it's all good.
You know what? And my thinking here is live and let live, but don't be an asshole. And what we just saw was an behavior worthy of an asshole. So I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
That's because as I said, I have 2 good friends, and we are in contact, and I completely understand them. I completely understand where they are coming from, what happened in their lives, but they are normal people working in normal jobs.
And they've put an effort to making that transition.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And once again, I don't care how you look, but just don't be an a-hole.
Not being an a-hole doesn't get you the attention that you want.
Yeah.
But
that's the problem. We're not talking about people
yeah.
who are trying to be well-adjusted.
Yeah, exactly. No, but once again, we're talking about. I don't know if this actor is even 20 or whatever. It's just young age, a little bit of fame, and yeah, their head is spinning. I'm not going to apologize that type of behavior, because especially somebody who is in front of cameras, so really in the public eye, should have something like a PR manager, at least to keep them in check, to a certain level, because this was just appalling behavior. Sorry, and I'm not a prude, but it literally insulted me watching that video.
You have to though go on to wonder again, this is kind of an indication of how little there is behind Star Trek Discovery and Kurtzman verse. In a bigger show, you would have somebody there, but right now, I don't think there's that direction there, because I don't think they have the money to do that.
I don't think that their PR firm would be willing to actually step in and tell this person no.
Oh, okay. That's a good point too.
I think they're getting more attention from this person acting out that they consider good attention, because it's check marks on Twitter think it's great.
So you're saying it's kind of 2021 mentality that we don't feel we can go in and tell this person to stop, because one, they would feel that that you're being transphobic or whatever, and you're thinking it's bad publicity is good publicity. That's
yes.
I would agree with both of those. I'd throw in one other thing. I would still say though, they don't have the money to talk this person down.
Well, remember,
even if it was bad
during Berman Trek, all the women cast members had it into their contract that they would stay in to a certain shape within a certain weight, and
that's standard for all TV.
Yeah,
except now it's
anymore. Like, look at Chili's actress,
as beautiful at any size.
Yeah. I'm wondering with modern contracts, if you're trans, you can't transition back.
Yeah, but Alex, just put something like that on Twitter, that you think that Sylvia Tilly couldn't be do her physicality a Starfleet member. Just put that on Twitter, and you will see what will happen. And that's the society we're living in.
Yeah, that's why I'm not on anymore. I don't have the patience for that kind of hatred anymore.
You know, if they end Discovery the way that they should, the way they killed off Enterprise, where it's a holographic simulation of a medical ship where all of these insane people are being treated, that would be great. But
that'd be so awesome.
This is supposed to be Starfleet. These are supposed to be the best of the best of all the planets in the Federation.
1,000 years.
This is what we're getting.
1,000 years in the future from the last Star Trek, also.
Yeah, well, now, but
Yeah.
even when in the 22nd century, these people never acted like they were in the military.
No.
That would be actually a good plot point. Have Tilly fail height and weight and be on remedial PT, and try to visit a nutritionist and do a diet. It could be an interesting story point line.
Get a trainer in there that yells at her. Or have somebody have a scene where they're in the gym and she's supposed to be working out and they set a donut in front of her.
They could power the Enterprise for years.
But yeah, I agree with Joseph that we don't have freedom of speech because of the way the internet is.
It's I wouldn't say you don't have freedom of speech, but you would basically draw attention of all the haters towards you. And is it something that you want to do? You have the freedom of speech to do that, but then you need to suffer the consequences. And honestly, I just had a small exchange, literally like 3 chats on Twitter about this story that the producer is stepping down is leaving the production company that is producing Star Trek Discovery, and somebody said it's a big loss, and I asked like why, and the response was because she was working so long with the company. And I just wrote, Discovery has another 22 producers, because I did the calculation on the latest episode. It was literally when you are watching the credits, the opening credits, it's literally within the first 20 seconds you get all the actors' names. Then you get the product. Then you get the production designer. You get the cinematography. You get all the basic roles, and then the producers, co-producers, executive producers start popping up. 23 names.
That's another reason why I don't. I still
because
think
everybody's
Discovery
gotta
is
be
not
special.
profitable. It just might be a PR project for all these producers.
And the problem is that I actually liked the opening of season 4. I really liked that episode. And I was like, okay, I'm hopeful that if the season progresses this way, it can be interesting. But actually, what I saw in the fourth episode, I was like, man, this is if there is somebody talking for 40 minutes about their mental problems, it's called therapy, not a sci-fi show. And
Is it
this was
still?
literally 45 minutes episode, and they were talking for 40 minutes about different feelings of all the different characters. And I was like, is this a soap opera that I'm watching, or one of those, like Latin American or and Turkey is
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
well, very where basically they are dragging out a plot for 25 episodes. So they
Yeah.
are literally dragging out certain plots here
Like,
until it's becoming unbearable. Why? I would
Well,
like to watch a good sci-fi show.
what you're bringing up there is interesting because the science fiction is supposed to be aspirational. Heroes are supposed to be aspirational.
Yes.
What they're giving us is their version of aspirational hero, which is somebody who is constantly obsessed with their feelings. They're constantly obsessed with the things, with the little minutia that's going on around them. They're always overflowing with emotion. They're never an actual classical hero.
They're a victim.
They're a victim, and victims are the new heroes.
Sad, but you're right.
But you know what? I don't mind a victim becoming a hero if it's something like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, and you get basically something like a hero's journey. But it needs to be relatable. Honestly, when I'm watching Star Trek Prodigy, it became easily my most favorite new Star Trek show, and it's meant for children because they don't put all the ballast in it. They keep it like adventure in space story, and this is why I find it. The animation is great. The characters are relatable. You can find there a big an enemy which is who is not space destroying something, but
Yeah, it
it's an
doesn't always
actual
have to be
person.
destroying the entire universe,
Yeah,
and only
exactly.
Space Jesus can save us.
And they are overcoming together as a team. They are overcoming uh, hard situations, and it's a great show, and it's meant for children. Please keep all Star Trek right from now on for children. If you think this is the dumbed down version of a Star Trek, please keep it like this, because this is the show that we want to watch, because there is a moral, there are characters, there is a story, there is everything you would like to have in a Star Trek show, at least from the 5 episodes that they showed us.
Well, I mean, I think even if they did have proper heroes, the stories nowadays in Discovery and Picard are overly complicated. They don't need to be. I just have a hard time following them, even if I do like parts of it sometimes.
You know what? When you are mentioning Picard, we can go to season one. It's basically you cannot say that it's hard to follow the story because there was actually no story.
Yeah.
And if you want to put it in a one line, how to describe it, it was search for data with lots of hurdles, lots of side plots, abandoned plots, missed out moments, and unrelatable characters. Not all of them. There were a few good characters that I really enjoyed on the show, but there were as well characters where I was like, why?
Yeah, when they
And
turned
apparently
set
somebody's
up guy.
MacBook died. I think one of the writers, their MacBook died, and that's why they had to show Data wanting to commit suicide. Because they anthropomorphized a machine that should have no reflex to that sort of thing.
Bert, have you seen the private chat?
I think he's eating. No.
The Captain Trek.
Yeah,
Captain
when you
Trek
can, Captain Trek's
wrote there a message. So since it's private chat, I'm not going to read it out loud. Anyway, yeah. So I'm once again, I'm always hopeful. I hope that Picard season 2 they learn from their mistakes and that they will bring out a consistent story, because it wasn't like necessarily bad. It was just we start a plot, we abandon it. We go there, it makes no sense. Let's go to something else. And they changed once again mid season the showrunner while they were filming. So it shows when you change the direction, like sharp turn
Yeah.
to left or sharp turn to right, and then you lose focus immediately. And this is what happened there as well. I have a big hopes for Strange New Worlds because they said it's going to be episodic. If it's going to be episodic, I'm completely fine with it, because you don't need to pay attention to those details, and you can, like, how to put the threads together. You just need to focus on good stories, and when you are able, and you can tell a good story in 45 minutes.
I don't know. I don't know if they are capable of telling a
That's
consistent
the
45
question.
minute
That's the
story.
question. The problem here is when you look at the screenwriters for Discovery, you find out that there are people who wrote for TV dramas, Grey's Anatomy, you know, and
There's no science fiction writers.
and this is the problem, because if I want to watch Grey's Anatomy, I will watch Grey's Anatomy or Good Doctor.
Yeah, Dr. House.
Those shows, there you have good. Go and write those shows, because you can do that good. You can write feelings. You can write dialogue around personal issues. But if I hear that the space anomaly is 5 light years big, and they don't see it because it's not drawing anything into it, it's just basically a black hole in space, and the next shot that you see on screen is matter falling into a black hole that is 5 light years big. It's like, I'm sorry, you are so disconnected between the words and what I see on screen. Or
And
everybody
when
is,
did we not have faster than light sensors?
yes.
Well, it was
I was gonna
last
say,
year.
TOS
It was
wasn't that good
simple.
about it either. So.
It was
Sorry.
simple writing. It was like last year, I believe it was. There was the scene, I can't quite remember it, but it was with, or maybe I'm trying to repress it. It is with Mikey Spork. She says to somebody who's in sick bay, "I'm not leaving until you do this," and then
Oh, it was,
like
yeah, and literally within 5 seconds she left. Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm leaving now. And it wasn't ironically done. It was just we're
Yeah.
so autistic in our writing that we forget what we had put down a minute ago, and the directors are so are not paying attention, or they're on their phone writing notes on Twitter,
Yeah.
that they're just not paying attention to simple consistency and
Yeah.
storytelling.
And
I don't have faith that they would be able to do
And
those
this is
basic
one scene.
things.
But you know what? When you are reading the articles on StarTrek.com or on those pages that are singing glorious songs about Discovery, they say what a great arc Tilly had. And the only thing that I can say, Tilly is the worst treated character on the show, because when you look at the 4 seasons, season 1, special needs cadet, season 2, the comic relief, season 3, the prodigy, and season 4, basically a character that is going to be replaced by a new version, by a younger version, you know, Adira in this case. And they are saying in the dialogue how great how she developed, how great her arc was, and they are saying it, but they are not showing it.
Yes. Is it because she gets to be so close to Space Jesus through those 4 seasons? But this is kind of going back to what I'm saying. Even if you're doing episodic TV, even if if the episodes are not interdependent on each other, the characters still need to be consistent.
Yeah.
And if you can't keep an episode, if you can't keep a story arc going, how are you going to keep characters consistent? As you said, what is Tilly? Her character never really stays the same, other than she's kind of special needs. You were also talking about Endora or Adora and
Adira, yeah.
Adira, that's right, and how her character in one season is this kind of outgoing, very strong individual, and the next season she's afraid of her own shadow.
They keep forgetting that she has a symbiote in her, who is how many lives? I think right now when Gray is gone, like five another lives, with an admiral, with memories of an Admiral Tal, you know, or whatever. The Tal is the symbiont, but of an admiral. So there should be definitely like way more to the character than just an angsty teenager.
Yes.
Is it the Dax symbiont or no?
It's not a Dex symbiont. It's one of the Trill symbionts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like I don't get it. I don't get the writing.
Well, the reason we're not getting it is because it's not for us, because we like Star Trek. This is writing for people who don't care about the property, but they heard about it one time, so they love it. It's the same thing that they wrote like Captain Marvel for. It's not for people who like comic books. It's for people who heard of the character one time, and now it's something they love.
Yeah,
it's a hipster mentality.
It's a hipster mentality, but ultimately it has to pay off. I think the other thing is maybe they thought getting some of the writers that they did would give some social points, but also I think it's getting to be to a point where I don't know if they can afford anything else.
Yeah, it's too big to fail at this point.
Kind of on the flip side, if you ever follow your boy Zach, it's comic books.
Comic Matters.
Yeah, Comic Matters. He has pointed out recently, I think it's a good video, that right now the major Marvel and DC, it's not that they're going to SJW writers and artists because that's what they want. It's because they can't afford the pros anymore. And I'm wondering if that's the same with Star Trek.
There's some of that, and they're willing to work for peanuts. And a lot of these low-end TV drama writers probably do work for way less than somebody who has a name as a science fiction writer.
See, at one time I'm thinking seasons 1 and 2 and maybe 3, they could have afforded better writers, but they decided to go with the SJW, or people that they think that would give them cred in this SJW world. Now on season 4, where they don't have Netflix, where they may not have the money, who do they can't afford it? People are saying, well, you want your show better, get some better writers. I don't think they can afford them anymore.
From what I, by the
probably
way,
a
from
good
what I heard, it's they pulled it from Netflix. They pulled it from Netflix because they want to launch the platform next year.
Yeah, Paramount Network or something.
It's the Paramount Network. It's going to be called slightly different here in Europe, but definitely they want to put everything that has the Paramount property on there.
Yeah. And Netflix saying, please don't take this.
But you know what? Honestly, there are shows on Netflix that are like sci-fi shows on Netflix that are abysmal. Like the Discovery is highly watchable compared to a show called Another Life. I'm not sure if you ever tried to watch Another Life. It's the lead actor in that show is Katie Sackhoff. So Starbucks from Battlestar, yeah. And the show is
a little cute, I guess. Yeah.
And you know what? The show is horrible. I'm not sure if I ever watched a worse sci-fi show, and I'm counting Discovery in it. So and Netflix pulled the plug on a show called Away, which was a fantastic sci-fi drama after one season, and they greenlit a second season of Another Life, and the second season of Another Life is actually right now on Netflix available.
Ooh, I'll have to check it out. I got to tell you, I've watched all four episodes of Vagrant Queen.
What's that about?
If you know what that Space Kissenger, do you know what that is? That's Mags Versacio's.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the comic. Yeah.
Yes, there were 4 episodes of it. It is pretty. The writing is abysmal. The special effects are like, if Ed Wood was alive today, he would be using these special effects. They're that bad. The direction's terrible. The acting, the lead actor either acts really stoned or bored. There's a South African actress called Alex McCord who actually is delightful and makes this thing watchable. But it is by far the worst thing I've watched. But I'm going to give you Random Menace. What was the name of that show? I'm going to give that a watch.
Another Life. Another Life is the bad one, and the good one was what was it? Another Life is the horrible and Away is the good show.
Away, okay.
And the Away is a drama that is basically a drama with but the characters are really good on that one.
Okay, I'll check those both out. Nobody watched Vagrant Queen. It is. I'll just tell you, it is as bad as advertised.
Unless you enjoy a lot of head.
What?
Hey, at least in the comic, that was all about a lot of head trauma.
Oh yes. Yeah, not that bad. They didn't have that in there, but there was a the sassy leader who just she's a in Vagrant Queen. It's basically another version of Mikey Spork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But South African actress Alex McCord, who is an alien, I hope she's in other things because she's really good. As I said, if you can make a Mads Versaccio anything tolerable, you're pretty good.
I was gonna suggest, could we just as a society be kind of burned out on sci-fi just because 20 years ago we didn't have all that much technology as we know it today, but now we have smartphones buzzing every 5 minutes with Facebook notifications or email, and we can't even ever be off work because we get bothered in our group chats while we're on vacation. So maybe we just kind of tired of technology and it's just not as fascinating and not escapism anymore.
I kind of
No
think
way.
I would argue
no.
the opposite, because we're actually in a real desert of new technologies right now. We haven't had any major advancements in probably 20 years. We
Smartphones?
Smartphones were around 20 years ago. They just weren't as good as they are now. But they're still just an evolution of the cell phone, which is just an evolution of the CB radio.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for new technologies. I love all the new technical stuff. I'm fascinated by reading about it, and it's not that it's literally the writing of the show. It's that is the thing that is bringing me down, because I always say. Give me a story that is half as good as Way of the Warrior, which is the opening episode of season 4 of Deep Space Nine. Give me a half that good stories, and I will be a happy camper. But they are not.
All we want is good character-driven stories.
Yes.
We really don't even
Way
care.
of the Warrior could have worked
if they would
without a
just
sci-fi premise.
Yeah, what we want is a good, simple Judith and Garfield Reeve Stevens, Shatner novel. It doesn't even have to be a particularly good novel. We just want an adventure.
Yeah, agreed. And a good adventure, I think all around, in all of the genres. Good science fiction adventure, a good action adventure. You just need those around, and I don't think a good science fiction necessarily needs to be tied to technology. I'm just thinking right off the top of my head, the story, the Arena, is a science fiction, but it deals with primitive technology.
Yeah,
So-
it could have been done in a non-sci-fi.
Yeah,
honest, easily just two guys stuck on an island or something and fighting it out.
Yeah. And what we don't really need is a woke Lord of the Rings.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
Yes.
With how about Legolas and Gimli can be lovers?
That's less offensive than some of the stuff that Netflix wants to do to that.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Amazon.
It's
Okay.
Amazon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get them
Don't
confused
think
because I
Mike
don't
Precious
care.
is going to have a new meaning to it.
Hey, Deej, you keeping warm?
Hey, Squirrel.
Yes, Bird.
With shoveling soy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now that Deej is here, I'm going to bounce out and go outside where it's 70 degrees and cook steaks just for you, Deej.
Wow! I now I envy you. Now I really envy you because it is freezing here, and I have maybe 20 centimeters of snow here. So, which is
What, it's
I hope
supposed to be
Joseph,
70
you can move
degrees
to Greece
Fahrenheit here
or
by Wednesday.
Malta someday.
yeah. I was on Cyprus in September, so I visited Cyprus in September, and I'm going to Greece, but usually for the summer holidays.
Okay. But can't you do, since your work is online, you can probably do some of it remotely from there.
Yeah, but usually the Wi-Fi in the resorts suck. And honestly,
Yes.
if I have to be something like 8 hours available on the computer, I can do it. I can do it from home for way cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why bring it to a resort when you can do it from home?
I moved to Savannah because I was tired of the winter. So
yeah.
You know what? It's one of the things that I have on my bucket list is actually celebrating Christmas in Australia, and Christmas and New Year's Eve, basically, because I said that I want to watch the fireworks in shorts. I could do it here, but I would freeze my ass off.
Yes.
So
Decorate a palm tree instead of a pine tree.
yeah,
Yes,
something
that's
like
what-
that. Yeah, exactly.
That's what we do here.
Yeah.
Because you're Alex, you're in Savannah. I'm in South Texas.
Yep.
So where it's you got to get out of the cold.
Yeah, I think Florida is now bigger than New York because people are rising up in terms of population. I mean, yeah, and moving south.
But I am going to get out of here, get those steaks on. Everybody have
Yeah.
a great evening. Bird, I'm
Take
so glad
care.
you're feeling better. Pimp,
Thank you.
Karogan Pimpcane. Karogan Pimpcane.
Karogan Pimpcane. That's what I need.
Yes.
Start
very
saving up
close.
now.
Yes. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good evening.
Yeah. Take
Take
care.
care. It's
And
going to
I
be
will-
solid
I-
gold.
And I will bounce too because it's 1:21 a.m. here, and I need to get up in the morning and work.
Do more cat
I
searching.
come
All right,
I
say hi
come
to
up
the
and
goats.
everybody's running off, and I even took
Yeah.
a shower. What the hell?
But
Teed, you're
you-
you're running off all my guests.
You smell so good, you know.
Deej?
Like strawberries.
So, yeah, like strawberries. Okay. With that, Bert, thank you very much for having me on the panel. I'm happy that I
Take
brought the
care.
good news about people being able to
Yes.
go to channel just by clicking the three
Yes,
dots
the
again.
YouTube is brought back, Deej. I don't know if you saw. YouTube has brought back the go to channel option.
About damn time.
Yeah. So with that, everybody in the chat and here on the panel, take care. Have a great evening. Have a good night, and have a good morning.
Qapla.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Yes. Speaking of warm places, I really think that's one thing Trek has not maximized is telling more Ryza stories and more vacation stories. There,
Don't
like
give them
the Elvis
a
Trail-
reason to add more degeneracy.
Not necessarily. You can tell
after
good mystery stories on
Hey,
Ryza.
oh, that would be great, but they're going to cling on that one Roddenberry thread where he wanted to show a bunch of gay sex happening in the background.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be a world where we want to live in, so they gotta show some straight sex too, I suppose, and make it attractive for everybody.
No, can't do that. Straight people don't
Nice.
exist in the future.
Well, I'm assuming that at some point the woke people will leave and move on to something else. I'm being optimistic.
I'm glad you still have that in you.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard both theories that the pendulum swings, or that there is no pendulum, that it will only go towards more and more woke. But like I told Salty, perhaps there's going to be a Protestant Star Trek at some point. The Phantom Menace guys will find their own studio where Joseph lives, and over there, the CBS lawyers won't be able to get them, and they'll produce Protestant Trek that'll restore the timeline and make it for us for the fans again. It's still technically fan fiction, but if it gets more viewers than the real Trek, than the licensed Trek, then why not?
I mean, I enjoyed it for all of its faults. I enjoyed Star Trek Continues, and I like a lot of the fan production stuff. The sets are certainly enough to make it interesting.
Star Trek
but I think we
gets
need
more
to.
views.
I think we need to move on to new characters and not new people playing old characters.
Well, I still think there's some potential in the TOS era. You can do the Lost Years, the end of the mission, and Kirk getting promoted. Bones going to parties doing some coke, maybe.
I would just like to see what a lot of other guys have done, because there's a couple of other groups out there that are doing really nice fan productions in that time period, but just not trying to reuse the TOS ship and characters.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of the civilian life, because in the end, Trek is supposed to be about making the future optimistic, so you want to see more of it, and not like Discovery.
I'd like to see some of the other planets out there, even non-Federation stuff.
Yeah, besides Ryza, more stuff about the Shoreleaf planet, about Trill, about Kronos. Sure, I'd love to, and not the way Discovery Kronos, where there was like one Klingon per 30 tourists.
You could even adapt the Earth 2 concept of a new settlement being set up and all the struggles they go through on a new planet.
Yeah, go back to Tasha Yar's planet.
Mm-hmm.
See how that fell apart and turned into a civil war. It was gang warfare.
But I think the problem with a lot of these ideas is that they're good, and you could do long-term good stories with them, and that's not what sells these days.
Not sure. I think there's they can get back those fans who've left Trek around Enterprise time, because I think in 2009 when J.J. Abrams did Trek, a lot of the old fans came back because it kind of did feel like TOS at first, and then they had to go and mess it up with redoing Han for no reason. Maybe they went a little too far with the TOS thing.
I think they went too far when they made Kirk now some sort of biomutant regenerated by a tribble.
Yeah, but I think Spock, like Han, was just pushing the character a little too far. Because I think
there's enough problems with those.
Han was based on Edward Snowden to an extent, and I think that could have been a good storyline. But they decided to make
I didn't realize that Hillary Clinton was trying to kill him.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. If done right, J.J. Abrams' Trek could have been a soft reboot of TOS. And there's plenty of stories.
Instead, we got the stupidity of rock and roll saving humanity.
Yeah, but the audience is still there, so.
Oh, the audience is absolutely there.
Yeah.
But as the people who make toys and merchandise have abandoned Discovery, we certainly have seen that the audience is not there for new Trek. It's only there for classic universe Trek.
Yeah, I really wish we did have the numbers, because otherwise people who like Salty and Lore will just keep saying, well, why are they renewing it if it's not making money? And I'm like, well, corporations don't always have their goal to make money.
Especially when they're trying to collect an audience for their other things. They don't care about the property. They care about the numbers that it's bringing in and the attention it's getting them.
Possibly. I mean,
in some ways, it was better when corporations were more interested in profit and less in virtue signaling.
Yeah, because making the Klingon leader be like President Trump, I mean, did that really bring in more audience in any way, or make them any more money? I don't know.
No, but it made them feel good, and it got them all sorts of Twitter likes.
Maybe. Because it gave all the Trump supporters a chance to say Qapla to one another, but I'm not sure that was their intention.
Well, I almost think that analysis of what they were trying to do with that character is too deep.
Yeah,
because I'm not sure that they thought it through that far.
He died way too soon, so they didn't have anything planned out very well. It's like they can't think past step 1 or step 2. Hey, Deej. I guess someone ate the squirrel. Oh,
yeah.
It's just,
I think Sleep, and the orphans are getting to Bird.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. The orphans haven't knifed you yet?
Not yet. I was just eating. I finished eating.
Okay. But the reason I actually popped on here is because of what you were saying about, being depressed about your physical state. And I don't have it anywhere near as bad as you do. But as somebody whose body has given up on them, I do understand that. And you're not wrong to have those thoughts of what do I really want to put up with?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to come across that I was being depressed. I was just trying to explain.
I don't think it's depression. I think it's
Oh, okay.
pragmatism about being a realist. And as an engineer, you understand how to be analytical about what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And so your reality is that that this is probably not going to get better on its own. And that's so you set yourself up to deal with that reality. And that's not the funnest reality to have to deal with.
No, it's not.
And people who have not ever dealt with any sort of long-term illness or been in long-term pain have no understanding of what the situation is like.
Well, I think a lot of people have, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people, more people than I would think, have had long-term pain and issues, even though if you don't notice it at first, because it's very hard to see, a person's history. You see where they are now. We don't know what they were doing 2, 3, 5, 10, 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get older, God knows what somebody could have been for 20 years of their life. And now they're 20 years past that. And, there's not going to be, hopefully, any reason that we would think, well, why would we know what they were doing 20 years ago? Maybe they had a terrible childhood. Maybe, maybe they didn't walk till they were 30. And, well, now they're 45. Well, okay. So, they might understand a lot. I don't know. The point is, I don't care so much because their story is their own and good for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know me and mine. I don't know. Like I was saying,
No, I
yeah, I'm
kinda
sorry.
get where you're going.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I see other people who've been worse than me get better, so I know it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I just until that happens for me, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy getting halfway there. I'm going to need to get 90%.
Yep.
There
and
before
that's
I'm
what you
gonna
have
be.
to do. You got to you got to stay in the fight.
Exactly.
And I know there are people who would kill to be where I'm at right now. And that makes me sad for them, but it's not enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not, and it's not going to be.
Yeah. There are also a lot of people who resigned themselves to too little because they don't really understand what they're capable of. And that's healthy people and sick people.
Yeah, they psych themselves out, kind of.
And you got to maintain
says-
that mental toughness that says, I'm going to fight this.
Richie Pools says, what are we doing being on so late? Well, Richie, I tried to stream. Apparently, it was full of buffering problems. So after an hour plus, we just decided to redo the stream. on StreamYards. Thankfully, it prevented the buffering issues, although my stream was still not great for quite a while till I restarted the software again. Maybe not even then. But anyway, hopefully, I guess if I got to use this, I'll use this. We'll use this software for a while. And at this point, Richie, I just ate dinner, so for the last half hour, I really wasn't doing anything but listening. But yeah, we're about ready to call it a night. Alex, anything you want to say before we go?
Well, it seems pretty obvious that the new Trek has kind of ignored what Trek used to be and what all of us old school fans want to see. And I suppose we shouldn't really be holding out against hope that it'll get better. We should just probably find other kinds of works that might be closer to what we want.
I'd say it's a pretty good bet. We're gonna need to find something else to hold us over until Trek gets where we want.
To watch Foundation, I just don't have Apple or Amazon Plus. Maybe I'll find out.
The only good thing about Apple TV is that it's cheap.
But it's just annoying to have 7 or 8 different
I understand.
subscriptions.
Well, when you get Apple, if you get Apple, you should also watch For All Mankind.
Yeah, I saw the first season, and it's really fascinating how the space race ended up heating up because the Soviets landed first on the moon. And
yeah, okay. Well, if you saw the first season, I'd say the first season is better than the second, but it's still worth watching if you're going to get it.
I liked how they found ice on the moon, and that's based on some recent findings of some ice in the northern pole of the moon, as far as I remember. And I liked how they kind of turned wokeism on its head, because the advantage of having a female astronaut is that she is lighter weight. So of course it would make sense for her to go down into that mine instead of the male astronaut. So that was a pretty sly move there by Ron Moore to say, hey, there is a use to wokeism, I suppose, because women do have some physical advantages in terms of being lower weight, for example. But instead of shoving it in our face like the other series do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, yeah, I like that. So, go ahead, Space.
Space kissing her.
All right.
Till all are one.
What is that from?
Till all are one.
Transformers.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't watched since the cartoons. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you. And Deej has to take care of a few things, and we'll be tuned in. Well, thank you, Deej. Qapla all. Guys, you don't have to go home. Feel free to stay here. Orville Nation says good night, birds and friends. Thank you again, PJ. Thank you again. John DeMarco says good night, everyone. Good night, John DeMarco. Professor Brainy Specs, take care. Richie Poole, good night. Darth Maul, have a good night. Resolute Germ, we're about to get to go into, we're leaving now. Resolute Germ, good night. And Random Menace is saying good night. Good evening, everybody. Maria NT and Telly, have a wonderful night to you, Maria. Qapla and Bird and Panel out.
But wait, there is more.
The video might be over, but there's more fun to be had. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdoprey5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Bird of Prey 5 needs. At the main Bird of Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos, YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Bird of Prey 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Bird of Prey 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, hail Charlie, and of course, hail Kuroga.